Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to 2CTV, your global news channel. The Islamic Republic of Iran have decided to hit a civilian hospital in Israel. They've also attacked a number of other targets. The Israeli defense system and Iron Dome is failing. It's been extremely overwhelmed over the last few days, even though the Iranian regime are not really launching many missiles at once. It's about 5 to 10. They are starting to hit the civilian areas across the country. Now, there's been a lot of reaction. We're going to give you guys the latest videos from a hospital in the southern part of Israel, the reaction from the government in Israel, but also Vladimir Putin. There's a lot of people who've been asking, why is it that Putin has withdrawn his support for the Iranian regime? Why is it that he's not getting involved? We thought that they were allies. Well, there could be a number of other things, including conversations between Israel and Russia alongside the conflict. As reported by 2C.tv, our website, Putin says that Israel has guaranteed the safety of Russians at Iran's nuclear plants. They have been conversations between the two sides saying that as long as you don't really target any of our people, then you could do whatever you want to do. That's your war, nothing to do with me. Of course, publicly, Putin and the Kremlin said, we could mediate if you want to. And President Trump said, go away, you've got other problems in Ukraine. If you want to get all the up-to-date information with news alerts, obviously download the 2CTV app. But also, we're still celebrating the 1 million subscribers achievement. So we're giving you guys a 50% off annual memberships of 2CTV Plus. If you use the promo code 1 million, no space, one word, 1 million, go on 2C.tv, download the 2CTV app and join us today. All right, first, let's talk about what happened earlier. The Soroka hospital was hit by the Iranian regime, a ballistic missile that was launched from the western part of the country. Of course, they've lost control of Tehran. They're not really able to launch any missiles from the capital. The Israeli fighter jets have control over the capital in Iran, but they are moving around their ballistic missile launch pads to just do their attacks. The Iranian army is nowhere to be seen. But let's go to the first video showing the damages to the Soroka hospital, and we're going to talk about a number of people who have been injured. Let's go.
תראו מה קרה לי לבית חולים. תראו. פה עמדתי, תראי כל הדלת עפה עליי, אליי. פה כל היום אנחנו יושבים, פה. תראי כל הבית חולים. אימא'לה, מה קורה בסורוקה? טירוף מוחלט. הכל שבור. זה לא אמיתי מה קורה פה. הכל שבור. כל סורוקה. כל המיון.
What's fascinating is that the IRGC are saying, well, Israel has been targeting hospitals in Gaza. Of course, these were the hospitals that were also Hamas bases. This one was not, obviously, it's not a base. But the Iranian regime and the Iranian regime supporters are saying, well, the IRGC wanted to target a military site nearby, and they misfired and they couldn't aim properly. So it's okay. If it is okay, according to the IRGC supporters, that they could hit a hospital because they were aiming somewhere else, then in that case, going forward, it's absolutely okay to continue to hit hospitals in Gaza, especially obviously when they are bases for Hamas. So the pro-Palestinian side can't speak anymore, right? They can't really complain about hospitals in Gaza getting destroyed because they are currently celebrating this civilian hospital that didn't really have any base underneath. Of course, there were bases nearby. It's a small country, Israel. If they are saying that, well, we just missed the target, whoopsie, it's okay, we don't really care about civilian casualties, then don't complain about Gaza. Now, a doctor at the Soroka hospital said that just yesterday we evacuated the old surgical building that took a direct hit today. It's a great miracle. It could have been much worse if they hadn't done the evacuation yesterday before the attack, because a lot of patients obviously are stuck. They can't really move. They're not mobile, and they've decided to do this. But this is the result of that area that has been evacuated, the old surgical building, destroyed. Yes, absolutely a big miracle for the Soroka hospital in that sense. But of course, a number of people have been injured. We're going to talk about that in a second. But there is a footage I'm going to show you. This shows the level of the impact, but also the shockwave from this missile from the Islamic Republic. Let's quickly go and watch that, and then we're going to talk about what Israel Katz, the defense minister, is saying. Let's go. Now, by the way, a number of other areas have also been hit, which we will discuss shortly, including the stock exchange in Israel. Again, once again, it's a residential area, not a military base. There is a statement from the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who has come out to say this morning Iran's terrorist tyrants launched missiles at the Soroka hospital in Beersheba and a civilian population in the center of the country. We will exact the full price from the tyrants in Tehran. The Israeli Defense Forces have now vowed a full blackout in Tehran following this, and Israel Katz has come out to say that Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, cannot continue to live. This is now part of the mission. Until now, publicly speaking, Israel's position was, well, obviously we're going to eliminate the threat from the IRGC. As a bonus, we're going to go and see if we could hunt down Khamenei, and they hit the Lavizan, which is the area which has the bunker with the supreme leader hiding underneath. And they were just saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to go find him. If we find him, if we could take him out, we could take him out. It wasn't necessarily public speaking. I mean, privately, they could have already had this plan for weeks and weeks, right? But publicly, they didn't really say until now that part of our mission is to take out the supreme leader. They were just saying they're eliminating the threat. Now they're saying part of the whole mission is going to be not allowing the supreme leader to continue. Now, we have more footage of more damage to the Soroka hospital. Let's quickly go to that one. Now, in terms of the casualties and those who have been injured, number of injured has now risen to 137, and some of them are obviously critically injured, but most of them lightly injured, moderately injured. We will find out more information about that, but the number is increasing until we find out more about this. Let's go. Again, just like what they did a few days ago, the beginning of the conflict when the Iranian regime attacked, when they started hitting the civilian areas, I mean, that's all they've been doing, by the way. I did say they're going to poke the bear. And now they have poked the bear massively. Netanyahu, Katz, and everybody else in the Israeli government are now furious. Let's not forget, apart from the fact that they themselves are Israeli and they care about the country, and apart from the fact that it's humanity, there's also a political pressure, a massive political pressure, because the decision by the Israeli government to go and attack Iran in self-defense was a very big gamble. So they have to ensure that people in Israel don't turn against the government. And even right now, the opposition leader, who doesn't even like Netanyahu, is backing the government, is backing the prime minister. So in terms of self-defense against the Islamic Republic. So there is the political pressure for the prime minister and the Israeli Defense Forces to go even harder on the regime in Tehran. Now, around 20 other people have also been injured. This was in Tel Aviv at Ramat Gan. Let's quickly go to that video. Once again, a residential building was hit.
תראו מה קרה בחוץ, אתם לא מאמינים.
אימא'לה, כל הרחוב נשבר, אין יותר, יואו, אתם לא מבינים מה קורה פה.
דנה, תראי מה קרה לבניין שלך, צ'יינג', הלך.
הלך כל המקלאווי. יואו, רגע, מה, אימא'לה? עמי, תקשיבי, לא אבל
וואו, תראו מה קרה לבניינים למטה.
אימא'לה, תראי את זה. תקשיבי, אין פה בניין רחוב.
Again, one of the main reasons for this, considering that the Iranian regime have not been able to launch many missiles at once over the last couple of days, is because the Iron Dome has now been fully overwhelmed and it takes time to recover, and this is the result. So the American allies are looking at this. President Trump is looking at this. They know that if this war doesn't stop soon, and by stop, we mean the Islamic Republic being defeated, then of course the IRGC, who don't really actually have a proper army now, but they just have a bunch of IRGC terrorists running around the country and driving the ballistic missile launch pads and the air defense systems, because they have to hide it throughout the day because the Israelis could target them. They will continue to target them. We're going to show you some of the latest updates on that. But all we have is a bunch of IRGC terrorists going around near the border with Iraq, hiding the ballistic missile launch pads, and then bringing it out, launching it, and hiding it again. That's all they're doing. But that's still causing a lot of damage. So the president from Washington is looking at it saying, well, if this continues, Iran won't win. We know that there's no way they can win, but they can inflict a lot of damage in Israel. Obviously, Israel is a very small country. So this will also urge the allies, including Germany and the United States, specifically those two countries, to step up their support as well. Israel Katz has come out, the defense minister, to release this statement. The cowardly Iranian dictator sits in the depth of the fortified bunker and fires armed shots at hospitals and residential buildings in Israel. These are war crimes of the most serious kind, and Khamenei will be held accountable for his crimes. The Prime Minister and I have instructed the IDF to increase the intensity of attacks against strategic targets in Iran and against government targets in Tehran in order to remove threats to the state of Israel and undermine the Ayatollah's regime. And of course, following this statement, Israel Katz also came, as I said, to mention that Khamenei can no longer continue to live. Now, the mayor in Israel has also urged that Israelis must now be prepared for more attacks from the Iranian regime, mostly because, of course, the air defense system is not fully at full capacity, saying that this is liable to happen again. So we must be alert and vigilant. They want to hurt us. Iran has declared for years to destroy the state of Israel. Everyone has their role. The disciplined citizens, security forces, rescue and emergency services, and Soroka Hospital, which does truly amazing work. Following this statement from the mayor, we also received this video from outside the hospital. So the latest clip is actually from a few minutes ago, even though the attack was obviously a couple of hours back, but the fire is still going. Now, the US Embassy in Israel has now ordered shelter in place in Israel. This is what we received. As a result of the current security situation, an ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran, the US Embassy directed all US government employees and their family members to continue to shelter in place until further notice. The Department of State is planning for contingencies to assist with private US citizens' departure from Israel. We will alert the US citizen community if there is an additional information to share regarding departure options. So that's, of course, that the United States are also getting ready for more retaliation against their own citizens in the Middle East, because, of course, a potential attack by President Trump tonight or tomorrow or the next day. But they've said it's going to be by this weekend, so we'll find out about that. Now, as I said, the stock exchange has been attacked by Iran as well. This is the Israel's Diamond Exchange District in Tel Aviv, in the business district, commercial hub that obviously houses the country's second tallest building, by the way, and of course other important commercial buildings. Let's quickly go to that video and see what happened. So yes, the Islamic Republic will be finding out very, very soon. In the next few hours, the attacks on Iran will be escalating and accelerating by the IDF. Now, in terms of what the IDF have been doing, and especially the Israeli Air Force jets, let's give you guys the latest update. Well, they have managed to blitz 40 jets strikes in Iran. Their nuclear and missile network have been hit. Following the strike on the Arak nuclear complex, which is a big nuclear site near Tehran, Israel's Air Force also targeted dozens of sites across the country. 40 jets went for the nuclear weapons developments in Natanz, ballistic missile factories, air defense production facilities, and other government sites. Radar systems have also been hit. So until now, obviously, the main targets were imminent threats, which is the ballistic missile launch pads and any potential air defense hub that exists on the ground. So what they are now doing over the last day or two is they are now going after the factories, the production hubs that makes the ballistic missiles, of course, and the air defense system. So, because if they continue to just hit the existing ones, as I've been repeating myself, it just turns into a whack-a-mole game. So they're going to have to go for the source, hit the source, so that the Iranian regime are not able to replace the ones that have been destroyed. There is a level of support also coming from Germany, which is quite, obviously, compared to the rest of the European continent, is rare. Friedrich Merz said that Israel is doing the dirty work for, obviously, the US and the rest of us. But Friedrich Merz has also been a little bit Friedrich Merzy. On the one hand, saying we support the Jews. On the other hand, saying this is very bad and President Trump is naughty and everything else. It's been a very confusing couple of days for the German government. But he has been supportive of the Israelis, saying that they are defending themselves. But of course, they're also helping the Western world.
Ist das nicht sehr verlockend, dass die Israelis jetzt die Drecksarbeit machen für ein Regime, das sehr viele in der Welt als einen wirklich großen Störfaktor wahrnehmen?
Frau Zimmermann, ich bin Ihnen dankbar für den Begriff Drecksarbeit. Das ist die Drecksarbeit, die Israel macht für uns alle. Wir sind von diesem Regime auch betroffen. Dieses Mullah-Regime hat Tod und Zerstörung über die Welt gebracht. Mit Anschlägen, mit Mord und Totschlag, mit Hisbollah, mit Hamas, am 7. Oktober 2023 in Israel. Das wäre ohne das Regime in Teheran niemals möglich gewesen. Ich kann nur sagen, größten Respekt davor, dass die israelische Armee den Mut dazu gehabt hat, die israelische Staatsführung den Mut dazu gehabt hat, das zu machen. Wir hätten sonst möglicherweise Monate und Jahre weiter diesen Terror dieses Regimes gesehen und dann möglicherweise noch mit einer Atomwaffe in der Hand.
Well done, Friedrich Merz. He is absolutely correct. If only the other European leaders, including Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron, would have said the same thing, but they don't. Instead, they spend more time attacking Israel and defending the Islamic Republic of Iran. Friedrich Merz was actually correct to say that, yes, actually, we have to be honest, that the Israelis are doing the dirty work for the rest of us, implying that the rest of the Western world have not taken any responsibility. In fact, they've been befriending the Islamic Republic for the past 4 decades or so. And now we are in this mess. Now, as I said, we have more news alerts coming on our website and on the 2CTV app as well. Make sure to become a member of 2CTV Plus. Use the promo code 1million to get 50% off, half price, of annual memberships of 2CTV Plus. You can only do that by going directly on 2c.tv or find the link in the description box under the video. And as I said, download the 2CTV app today to get access to all the premium shows and the news alerts. Now, let's get some reaction quickly from you guys. This is their culture. And we as a country are taking them in to enrich neighborhoods near you. Yes, that's the Western world's approach, basically. God bless Israel from California, USA. Thank you very much, Augustine from California. Shauna says, will America back this attack or stay its course? Which attack? The Iranian regime or the retaliation from Israel? They won't necessarily have to join Israel when it comes to the retaliation, because President Trump's position is, we are doing our own thing. Israel is doing their own thing. We also are threatened by the Islamic Republic and the nuclear, so we're going to have to go in and hit them. Obviously, publicly that's the case. Privately, Israel and America are working together and supporting each other. Public speaking, that's slightly different. But we are told by this weekend, either tonight, tomorrow or Saturday, something might happen. President Trump has already approved the plan to attack. He's just waiting to give the final order. Why specifically Germany? The US, I understand, but I don't understand why Germany. Well, because Germany and the Germans are one of the biggest allies to the Jews and the Jewish nation. It has been going on, obviously, for a very long time, for decades and decades. And Germany have always been, regardless of governments, always been on the side of the Jewish nation. So they've also battled with the European Union a few times in 2021, 2022. That's the main reason that the German politicians, whoever they are, unless they elect a communist, they tend to obviously be more robust in their support for the Jews. Brad says, name the pub Alan Snack Bar. Just joking, maybe Bambananda Line. Yes, this is about my future British pub in Tehran once Iran is free, if Iran is free. Unguided missile hitting hospital equals coincidence. That's sarcasm, I'm guessing. Islam is poisonous ideology wrapped in religion, fueled by a hatred of Western freedoms and values. Yes. Congrats on hitting 1 million subscribers. Deserved. Yes, we are now on 1,053,000. We're getting close to 1,100,000. So it's going up. It's going up fast. Wouldn't aim at hospital. Pointless propaganda loss. What? No, because they are winning. They think they are winning inside the country. The propaganda is in Iran. They are saying that there was a military base. They've also created these AI videos showing there's the military base underneath the hospital. They got tanks and everything. Why would there be tanks under that hospital? They have actual IDF bases nearby. Why on earth would they hide the tanks under the hospital? Israel doesn't use hospitals to hide in. Yeah, of course, because they're brave enough to wear their uniforms and actually fight like proper soldiers. Got super sticker as well. And then Howard says, excellent coverage. Thank you. Excellent comment by Howard. Thank you. The cult of followers of Muhammad have killed 270 million people in 1,400 years. That's 528 people per day and 22 people per hour. And luckily, I've managed to survive. Okay, so let's go to the members of 2CTV Plus. This is yet another benefit of becoming a member of 2CTV Plus, as I said. If you go directly on 2C.tv and use the promo code 1million, you get access to this, the chat forum. You can talk to me directly. You can talk to like-minded people. It's a crazy community we have there. And, oh, hello. They are now closing the Strait of Hormuz. They are making the final decision near the Persian Gulf. The Iranian National Security Committee, they're just finalizing the plans. This will cause mayhem. The Americans are going to go mental on the Islamic Republic. All right, let's go to some comments from the members of 2CTV Plus. Hi 2C, this is a long comment. Can you guys keep your comments shorter? It's an essay. Hoping that the Iranian army will defect to the Crown Prince. Some will, but some obviously have requested, not all of them, because there's still a lot of them who are loyalists. To the Crown Prince, he was wise to indicate that ordinary members of the IRGC administration can be normalized in the new government. Yeah, you don't want to make the mistake the Allies made with the Iraqi army, leaving all those soldiers with no future. So many of them became terrorists. Exactly. The Iranian culture is very different, and those who have made certain decisions will have to face the consequences and stand for trial. But the rest of obviously the soldiers and the officials, those guys obviously they will have to still be punished, but they will be they'll have to stay in the country, and they have to obviously help rebuild the country. And it's happened many times when it came to previous regime changes, even in South Korea. Hi Maya, I know the internet is out, but have you been able to call anyone, or do you know if the phone service is still up in Iran? Haven't been able to get a line in. So I can't phone my dad with a normal number because the IRGC are tapping his phone and we can't really speak. They will be listening in. So we were just, until now, we were using encryption services to message each other and basically make phone calls. The internet is very, very difficult to actually be accessible right now in the country. So I haven't actually heard from him in about 2 days. So I don't know where my father is. Real Marmite says exclusive footage of the IRGC launching missiles against Israel. Is that a video? Oh my God. That is brilliant. Thanks for that. Nasman says thoughts and prayers with Israel and the people. The axis of evil love hitting civilians rather than military targets. Also, mostly because they just can't aim. It's the same with Russia in Ukraine. Did the IDF blow up all the bridges the trolls were hiding under, as they seem to have surfaced in your YouTube chat? The trolls, why would you insult the trolls? They are helping us. The more they click on these videos and leave comments, it's engagement, it will help the algorithm. Let them go. Anyway, Oopsie Daisy says, I hope these bar stewards in Iran, you mean bastards? I think, meet the horn maker soon. After hitting a hospital, the gloves should be off. I agree. They've crossed the line again. Great coverage, but oh dear, that bag. There's another meme here as well. In the bin. Love that. That's where is it gone? How do I make this smaller? There we go. That's the crown prince. That's the supreme leader being put in the bin. My thoughts are with Israel families. They got normal comments. Okay, so do you know anything about the IDF pager style attack due to start tonight? No, well, we wouldn't know if there was going to be an attack, because it would defeat the purpose of a secret operation. I don't know what's going to happen. They're just going to go very hard, I guess. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep you guys posted on everything else on this matter. I'm just going to check to see if there is any latest developments that we have just received. All right, so, wow, this is a short video from the moment of impact at the Soroka hospital. This is actually very important to see. A civilian in Israel managed to film this. Watch. That was absolutely insane. Again, they got lucky that the old surgical building was already evacuated the day before. Otherwise, they would have all been dead by now. So they said that they launched only about 30 ballistic missiles. So with 30, they managed to hit. So it clearly shows that the Iron Dome is being overwhelmed massively. The Iranian foreign minister is going to be attending talks in Geneva with France, the UK, the EU, and Germany. I'm not really sure why that's separate, considering France and Germany are in the EU, so the rest of the EU as well. But the Americans have said, we do not support these talks, we shouldn't get involved, and we are not gonna get involved. We also have a quick video from Iraq. This is the operation early this morning. The Israelis massively destroyed the nuclear facility in Iraq. Do we have it ready? Yes, we do. Okay, so this is the video we received from the Israeli Defense Forces showing the map and the attack on Iran. There we go. So 1,500 kilometers. This is Iraq's nuclear reactor. There we go. This is just to ensure there is no resurgence from any of these active and inactive nuclear sites. So that has now been targeted by the Israelis. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to become a member of 2CTV Plus. Use the promo code 1,000,000. We are celebrating 1 million subscribers. You will get 50% off annual memberships if you go directly on 2c.tv. Afterwards, of course, download the 2CTV app and get access to everything on Maya 2C. And we are the media.